Would you know what to do if you heard the roar of a chainsaw getting closer? Here's the truth. 73% of people completely panic in life or death situations. And if the monsters from Resident Evil 4 were real, that number would hit 100%. Today we're breaking down the only strategies that could actually work against the most terrifying enemies from the game. Smash that like button and subscribe, because we're about to teach you how to survive the nightmare that is Resident Evil 4. Let's start with a face that's haunted players for decades. Dr. Salvador. Looks like a maniac with a chainsaw, but the truth is way darker. He was once just a regular village resident, until the plague of parasite took over, a bioorganic nightmare created by the Los Illuminados cult. Normally, the infected become ganados, half zombie, half brainwashed puppets. But Salvador, he mutated differently. The parasite rewired his brain to develop a pathological obsession with cutting tools. The chainsaw isn't just a weapon, it's part of his identity now. He doesn't feel pain, doesn't get tired, and doesn't know fear. Just endless, relentless pursuit. And then there are the Bella sisters, two siblings infected at the same time, forming a terrifying neural bond. They don't just fight together, they think together. Imagine battling one murderous mind operating two bodies. What most people forget is this. Biologically, these enemies are perfect killing machines. No fatigue, no hesitation, no mercy. Worse, they use strategy. Salvador pressures you from the front, forcing you back, while the sisters flank you. It's military-level coordination, applied to butchery. So, how do you survive? First rule. Never fight them in open space. Control the terrain, narrow hallways, doorways, choke points, anything that breaks their formation. That chainsaw can't maneuver well in tight spaces, and it nullifies the flank advantage. If that's not possible, disrupt the rhythm. That chainsaw noise, it's not just for show, it's psychological warfare. In the animal kingdom, predators use sound to induce panic. Same idea here. Stay calm, use distractions, throw something to make noise on the opposite side. Their instincts will drive them to investigate. Set improvised traps, tripwires, slippery floors, whatever you can rig to slow them down. And if you're not alone, your odds go way up. One distracts, one attacks. One watches your back, the other pushes forward. Constant communication is the difference between 30 seconds of panic and actual survival. But if you thought a chainsaw was your biggest problem, you're not ready for what comes next. The Colmillos used to be pets, family dogs, hunting companions, loyal animals, until the plaga parasite turned them into literal nightmares. The infection hits animals even harder than humans. While infected, people still resemble humans. These dogs mutated beyond recognition. Their anatomy was completely rewritten. Tentacles with blades now burst from their backs. This isn't sci-fi. It's biologically unprecedented. Nature has claws and spikes, sure, but no creature combines the speed of a dog, the stealth of a predator, and integrated weapons like this. If this existed, it would dominate the food chain. And it gets worse. These monsters still hunt like dogs, but their instincts are twisted. They use pack tactics, flanking, and ambushes. But now, it's all for one purpose: to kill anything uninfected. Speed? Unreal. They can cross huge distances in seconds, jump from rooftops, burst from sewers, anywhere, anytime. Like being hunted by a guided missile with teeth. So, how do you fight back? Forget brute force. You won't react in time. Your best shot is sensory overload. In the game, flash grenades work, and in real life, the science checks out. Strobe lights disorient birds. Fireworks scare wild animals. It's all about confusing their senses. Next, full distraction. They're triggered by movement and sound. Throw something away from you. Trigger an alarm. In the wild, animal use decoy sounds to escape predators. Same principle applies. And finally, use verticality. They dominate ground combat, but elevation throws them off. Climb, force them to jump, and use gravity to your advantage. But here's the terrifying catch. They don't retreat. Unlike real animals, they have no self-preservation instinct left. You can't intimidate them. You can't wait them out. It's kill or be killed. And if you're hoping they'll at least make a noise when they approach, wait till you meet the next one. The Garradors were once prisoners, maybe criminals, maybe political dissidents. They were blinded and chained in a dark dungeon for years. When the Plaga reached the castle, it infected these prisoners. But something unique happened. Decades of sensory deprivation combined with the parasite led to a terrifying adaptation: hyperhearing. This is called hyperacusis, a medical condition where normal sounds feel painfully loud. These guys can hear a heavy breath, a shaky step, even the click of a reloaded weapon. No need for echolocation like bats. They're passive listeners, waiting for you to screw up. And those giant claws, not just for shredding, they're sensory tools. They scratch the walls to map their environment through touch and sound. In tight spaces, they are perfectly evolved to kill. So, what's your move? Absolute silence. Military teams train for this. Hand signals, weapon discipline, deliberate steps. Hunters do the same. Wait for hours, knowing one wrong move ruins the hunt. But their strength is also their weakness. That hypersensitivity can be turned against them. Create intentional distractions. Knock over something far away. Fire at a wall. While they investigate, you get your shot. And that shot, aim for the parasite exposed on their back. It's their only real weak spot. If you can sneak up, a clean hit there is lethal. If not, aim to expose it with fire or explosives. Flash grenades work wonders. They're vulnerable to sensory overload, but the psychological pressure is immense. Knowing that one sound could mean instant death turns every step into a gamble. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, here comes something that breaks every rule of survival. The Regenerator is Resident Evil 4's ultimate monstrosity. These weren't random victims. They were selected for something far worse: to become biologically engineered immortals. Multiple plague of parasites are surgically implanted in a single human host. This isn't infection, it's total biological hijacking. Each parasite takes control of a different system, and together they operate like a repair crew on overdrive. The result? Pale skin, elongated limbs, twisted muscle, but worst of all, they regenerate from anything. Lose an arm, it grows back. Hole through the chest, sealed in seconds. Decapitation might slow them down, but they get up. In nature, regeneration exists. Salamanders, starfish, some lizards, but it takes time and energy. Regenerators break all those rules. Their healing is instant, powered by a forced hypercellular process. And the scariest part? The original human mind might still be in there. Sometimes they moan, not like monsters, but like distorted echoes of someone trapped inside their own body. So, how do you stop something like this? You don't. Not in the normal way. Blasting limbs off is temporary. The only solution is precision. Destroy every single parasite hidden inside their body. In the game, you get a special infrared scope to locate them. In real life, you'd need thermal imaging or advanced medical scanners. Every shot has to be perfect. One parasite left, and it gets back up. The psychological toll is insane. You're fighting something that doesn't stay down, that regenerates every time you think it's over. It's like battling death itself. You need specialized gear, perfect aim, and nerves of steel. Brute force is suicide. Intelligence, patience, and calm under pressure are your only hope. Sometimes, brains beat brawn, and this creature proves it. So what's the real takeaway? The monsters of Resident Evil 4 aren't just terrifying, they're unique survival puzzles. Dr. Salvador and the Bella sisters test your environmental control. Colmillos force you to think like prey. Garrador demands silence and precision. Regenerator challenges your mind, not just your firepower. Each enemy pushes you to think beyond violence. You need creativity, strategy, and total focus. That's what makes the game so brilliant, and what would make these creatures absolute nightmares in real life. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these monsters do you think would be the hardest to survive in real life? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you've got even better strategies than mine, I'm all ears. And if you like this deep dive into science, survival, and horror, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More insane analysis is coming soon. See you next time, and stay safe out there.